Shut up, Ma. I'm with my friends.
Hi, Mrs. Krabuppelwitz.
What are you doing down there that's so important?
Well, you see, to put it simply, Ma, it's time for Talkin' Nerdy, the nerdy talk show where I ask my guests to talk nerdy to me.
Oh, my.
Oh, my, indeed. This is Talking Nerdy, the nerdy talk show where I ask my lovely guests to talk nerdy to me. This is Frost, your host, the king of Kauai, the sultan of Sugoi, and the master of Moe. Is that what I'm supposed to say, Bearman?
You were supposed to switch out two of them, but I can't remember which.
Oh, I was. Well, anyway, I'm contractually obligated to say that now because Bearman is here on the show for the night. Say hello to the folks, Bearman.
Hello, it is I, DJ Bearman, the king of kaiju. What is going on?
And we also have Scutty because Scutty's always here and having a good time chatting nerdy with me.
Just kind of being here. I'm the queen of...
Cute.
Oh,
that's not the same letter.
I was going to say quality assurance, but...
That also works.
That
queen
doesn't
of quality. The queen of quality assurance, it is.
That doesn't exactly explain much about the show now, does it?
No.
No, but that's okay. There's the quality check on the show, and whatever the crap I am, and then the monster guy over there.
Yeah.
Even though you're a bear.
So. I like monsters.
I know you do.
I'm clearly, like, if the new art is anything to go by, I'm clearly the most monstrous of everyone here.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're pretty fine.
Yeah.
You're fine with it.
I'm definitely fine with that.
You are fine.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway.
Nerdy time.
Nerdy time.
So,
Okay.
Remind me again, Bearman, what we called this episode, Don't Let Your Memes Be Dreams.
Because I had no idea what else to title it. And
I thought it was because of your absolute love of memes.
But
that particular meme in general is, in my opinion at least, one of the best memes.
No. We've already discussed what the best meme is. It's the shower meme.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
don't know
true.
if that's the best.
It is
meme.
because the nerdy one was perfect. The nerdy one was perfect. How to nerd shower, just like you, silly. We turn on the water and then roll for initiative.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
My favorite variation is the German version.
The German version.
Yeah, it's like, how do Germans shower? Same as you, Dummkopf. We get nice and wet, and then we get dry because we don't have humor.
That is good. You know, should we change the name of the show to Talking Tangents? Because we're really good at tangents.
Yeah, let's.
We're less than a minute in, and tangents all the way.
Memes are all nerdy and stuff, aren't they?
Memes are just internet.
Memes are mainstream.
Internet is nerd.
Memes are mainstream.
Internet is used by everybody now.
Meme fluency though is nerd.
I guess.
Being
Memes are
fluent in the art of meme.
Yeah.
All right. So
loot boxes. Somebody in the chat. There are so many great people in the chat tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in and being active.
Yay,
I love it.
people.
The loot boxes. ESRB is doing something with them.
yeah,
Yes.
that was happy.
Is it
It's
that
not
thing?
great though right now. From what I understand.
That was sad.
Yeah.
There's a very subtle difference
Very subtle.
in
Yeah,
the bear
it's-
noises.
Basically, they're just requiring a label that says,
Really?
it's a start. It is a start. It says that you're going to require to put on your thing that, like, this has in-game purchases. Like, to be fair, Hawaii is better. Hawaii has outright, I think, banned or is working to ban loot boxes because it's gambling
It really
for
is.
children.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not okay. I mean,
It's
especially-
gambling for children with their parents' money.
Pretty much. And also, you're not getting anything tangible.
No.
No, I mean, you in theory could resell it.
No, you can't. I don't think most things let you resell.
I didn't
Oh.
say it was legal.
I think,
yes.
Okay,
No, I
early-
don't even- is there any way for in-game trading with that?
Oh God, yeah.
well, not for like a lot of modern games, I don't think. But if you're
Yeah.
talking like CSGO or
Yeah,
TF2,
Well, that's built in. Those
Well,
are built in.
but those are still technically loot boxes.
There are ways
Yeah.
around the system to
Are
jack
there?
it so private people can make money. I know that was a big thing with like CSGO Lotto websites where kids would basically bet their skins for other skins.
I remember that. There's a whole thing about this Twitch streamer who literally streamed. This was before Twitch was strictly. It was only gaming. It wasn't IRL and gaming.
Right.
The guy got banned for streaming CS:GO loot box openings or something.
Oh
And
yeah, I remember this.
The
I think.
reasoning partially was because it was reported that he owned the website that he was doing it on.
Yeah, that was it.
He was
I
the
remember
CFO.
that.
And I think he filed a lawsuit against him saying you can't do this. And Twitch is like, kind of can.
Yeah.
So
'Cause he
like,
was promoting a private company that he owned,
well, not just
acting
that.
like he didn't own it.
Yeah.
He would say, "Oh, it's a cool website I found," but then later on YouTube, he'd be like, "Oh no, I mean, I always was open about how I owned this website," and then he was facing jail time.
Yeah.
It's a crazy situation, man.
Yep. And Nerd Block's coming back apparently.
What?
Yeah.
I immediately thought of Roadblocks. What?
No, Nerd Block. It's like a loot box, but it's nerdy stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like
it's coming
Loot Crate.
back.
So Loot Crate.
so Loot Crate.
Kind of, yeah. Except not Loot Crate. I think it's a different company.
Well, yeah, but like the concept is the same as Loot Crate, right?
I think it's similar, but I think they're purportedly coming back. Somebody in the chat has let us know, and it's going to have really cool stuff like art books and things like that.
All right, that's interesting. I like art books. I mean, mostly I find that Loot Crate is basically your Funko Pop delivery system, where you also get a T-shirt, which makes me
And
wanna,
a nifty little badge.
yeah, which kind of makes me want to get Loot Crate again.
Yeah. Well, kind of. So,
Kind Because
my wife and I, we had a similar loot box thing. It wasn't loot box; it was something else. And they said customize what you want inside, and we're like, okay, great, this sounds awesome. Let's put Nintendo stuff because we're big Nintendo fans. You know, some PC stuff, and you know what they sent us? Nothing but stuff we didn't want.
Yeah.
Like they say customize, but then it was literally all the same for everybody. And if you didn't like what they sent you, oh well.
You can get more customized loot boxes now because after Loot Crate took over, like everyone got into the loot box game.
Oh yeah, no, loot boxes were a huge deal.
I like how we
Well, loot
like
boxes
right now
not
we're
in game.
yeah, we should clarify
we immediately
that.
started praising them up and
So
down.
Loot Crate,
Loot Crate.
the company people like because they're pretty sweet.
They give you real life stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, you pay them for stuff at a discounted rate as to what the stuff would normally cost you.
Whereas internet loot boxes give you slightly more powerful weapons with different skins in game.
Yeah, or simply just skins.
Yeah.
And sometimes the weapon isn't even that much more powerful. It's just like some trade-off in abilities.
Or it looks cooler. I
Yep.
mean, I think that's mostly about what CSGO does, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah, I think the Steam loot boxes or whatever are different because I know with Steam, like Team Fortress 2, I know for a fact you can get kind of anything just randomly from playing the game.
Oh yeah, like
So-
you randomly just you get the boxes for free, but you have to buy the keys to
Or
open
you
them.
can just get the items and stuff out of the box for free. It's not like the same, but you just randomly get them.
No, but like regardless of what box you get, you have to purchase the keys to open them.
Right. I mean, I don't usually do anything with the boxes. I usually sell them on the Steam market because people want them for some reason. But and I don't really see a problem with that. That's something that was free, and if somebody wants to pay for it, so be it. You know, it's not like you have to pay for it. And you know what it does? Literally nothing to enhance your in-game stuff. It's like skins and weird weapons and stuff.
Hats.
It's more of a status symbol than anything else. What people want is the hats.
Yeah, exactly. So
I've only ever gotten one effect covered hat. I forget the name for. I forget there's a specific name for them, but
Australium?
No, not us. I have one Australium weapon from the MVM
Oh, do
campaign. Yeah, I have an Australium shortstop. No, it's Force of Nature. Australium Force of Nature
That's
for
crazy.
the Scout.
Is that like something special? I haven't played TF2 in
It's
forever.
literally just a regular Force of Nature weapon, but it's covered with Australium, so it looks golden.
Oh, okay. So
But
yeah,
they're
I just read,
super different. But any Australium weapon is
backtracking
hard to
just a
get.
little bit. I just read through the email that one of our listeners sent me, which is awesome. Thank you so much.
Love contact with the fans.
I do too. I absolutely love it. And
Yeah.
in the YouTube chat, I put the email, which you can send things to, which Bearman came up with.
Please.
nerdboysextreme@gmail.com.
If you have any business inquiries, please send them to Nerdboys
If you wanted to say hi, send them to us too. You know,
Yeah, if you want to say hi. I mean, really,
But
we're not picky.
the gist of it is they shut down Nerdbox was it?
Nerdbox.
Yeah, Nerdbox. That thing that we're talking, Nerdblock.
Nerdblock.
Nerdblock. They shut it down.
Nerdbox is very different.
You know what? We can come up. No, so we can just call it Nerd. We'll come up with something called Nerdbox. We'll make our own
Yeah,
or
All right.
something.
it'll
bet you
be
one
on the
exists.
Minecraft server. It'll be the Nerdbox.
Yeah, the Nerdbox. Funny story about the box, and I'll get back to that in a moment.
Okay.
But they shut it down and they've reincorporated, and they're going to integrate some much different content. So from what I was reading, different art books, some content from James Cameron and other famous directors and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Really cool things that the average nerd would just find insatiable.
I love me
things
some
that
art
they need.
boxes.
That's not even the thing. Insatiable is completely the wrong word. How
What
do we
we're
always go on food?
insatiable for?
Yeah, that
We're doing a tangent again.
no, we are, but this is an important one.
It's a self-correction.
It is. It's a self-correction
Yeah.
that there's no way they wouldn't like. It's let's just call it awesome.
Yeah.
That most nerds would find awesome.
Awesome possum.
Awesome, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, possum.
Sure.
Why not? But anyway,
Sheriff Possum?
sure.
That sounds adorable. Sheriff Possum.
I don't know, but possums are actually kind of really mean.
Are they?
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
They've got some
They're
fierce.
pests.
They've got some fierce temperaments
They do.
sometimes,
We're doing
but
it
they
again.
perform an important service in nature.
Oh, everything in nature performs a service. Again, tangents. Forgive us, but this is kind of talking tangent on Talking Nerdy. It's a sideshow that you get with your show, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
It's
Yeah.
our B show.
It's exactly, it's our B show. But no, really, it matters. We have to correct ourselves and inform. You know, knowledge is nerdy.
Yes.
Knowledge is where nerdiness started. So come on, we can go with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm kind of excited. I would love to see what the first Nerd Block reboot has in it. Yeah, I think that's the biggest question is to see, well, what's in it.
Would any of our listeners be interested in us doing a live not a live video, but maybe an
A video of us unboxing. I don't know, but if you let us know in the chat or by emailing us at nerdboysextreme@gmail.com, tweeting me
I'm
at...
so happy I came up with that.
I'm so happy you did too. Tweeting me at DJ Frost WLMC or searching on the Facebook for DJ Frost at WLMC. Definitely do that.
Or carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon works too.
Yeah.
Although I'm not really sure. No, wait, carrier pigeons are extinct.
Oh no.
Really?
Yeah, they are. They have been.
They
for
have
years.
been for a while. The last one was a female named Maggie or Martha or something like
I'm
that.
sure we could, get some carrier pigeons again.
Well, they've been trying. You know the reason they went extinct is because they're just so darn tasty. Literally.
I feel
I thought they were all like shot out of the sky during wartime because
No.
carriers.
There was multitudes. They were so numerous that people would erect giant nets to catch them as they flew. And they were worth money because they were tasty. And then they went extinct.
these are
because
pigeons that carry messages.
No, they were a different breed of bird. They were
Wow,
just-
what am I talking about then?
No, you're correct. They were called messenger pigeons or carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they were in the same family as the common pigeon.
Could send a raven.
Yeah, send a raven.
Send a raven.
They're very, very smart, so they'll know what to do.
Yeah.
You might have to pay them with shiny objects, though.
If you feed them enough, they might give you shiny objects.
That's very
Actually,
true.
somebody was able to train ravens to give them change by creating a vending machine in which they would get bird seed if they inserted quarters. So
That's
they had
pretty awesome.
They had a bunch of crows hunting for quarters.
That's amazing, actually.
It's pretty great.
I think that person deserves a medal.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
They deserve every cent they get from that scheme.
Exactly.
It's a good hustle.
No, I mean, it's not even a hustle. It's fair trade.
Well, I mean, it's the spirit of
It
hustle.
is, it is.
It's the spirit of hustle.
Agreed.
That's also a good video title.
What?
The spirit of the hustle.
It is. It's a bit more sports ball than nerd, but yeah, we'll go with it.
I don't know. I mean, you got
Hustle. I'm not even sorry.
That's
So
all right.
that actually kind of brings something up to mind because my mind works really weird. Tubut, the server we're on,
Yeah.
which is the second Poobut,
Yes.
spelled P-U-U, by the way, lest you think our minds are in the gutter.
No.
Shame.
No.
No?
No.
No what?
No, we're not in the gutter.
No, we're not.
No.
We've had some crazy adventures on there so far in like the 3 or 4 days it's been alive.
I died.
Well, that's only because you practically ran out crying out for people to kill you.
No, well, all right. So I beat an Enderman to death with my fists.
Did you?
Yeah.
He did.
Took
I
3
can
deaths.
confirm this.
Took 3 deaths, but we have an Ender Pearl now.
That's awesome.
Just
So.
the one.
Well,
Just the
we'll
one.
save it. Eventually, I have plans to set up the Ender.
The Ender.
Yeah, it's a complicated machine that kills Enderman for you.
I like this idea.
Yeah, you have so many Ender Pearls, you just don't know what to do with them all. But that aside, the reason that Hustle reminded me of Tubut is because of the 1,000+ block tunnel that Scutty and I did.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Then I dug again.
You guys, I wasn't on that day, and I came back, and you guys were so mad, and you're like, you have to start playing, Bearman.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
So you can help us dig these tunnels.
So
Yeah.
we dug it without beacons, without enhanced pickaxe. No, we dug it with iron pickaxes, just straight through. And to be
Some
fair,
diamond pickaxe was used.
yeah, some diamond pickaxe. Mine broke, unfortunately. But now I've got an uber diamond pickaxe because fishing farms, which I'll get to because they're pretty awesome. But anyway, dug this tunnel, It was a too wide tunnel and too tall tunnel. It was a square.
Yeah.
I've since enhanced that tunnel and made it bigger and wider, and I'm starting to decorate it.
Oh, yay.
But I need a lot of snow, which leads us to a different issue. We turned off mob griefing because Endermen and creepers suck.
Yes, they do.
There's no way to describe it. They suck. Well, that also makes snow golems not make snow. And because, the reason we dug this tunnel, by the way,
that'd be important.
was to get to an ice spikes biome, which is a super rare biome, but I really, really wanted to build an ice spikes. So Scutty teleported me to the coordinates I told her to. And then I was there, set up another portal, and then had to make our way back. And that took a while. A long while. But we made it. We only died like a couple times. Once because Scutty accidentally drowned me in lava.
It was going to happen at some point or other.
So we were digging. I'm like, oh, lava, let me get this. I start going, and she starts breaking the blocks I'm placing, thinking she's going to get to it first. And then it falls on me.
I don't even remember what the thought process it was in my head at the time. I was very tired.
You guys were pretty tired when I saw you next.
Well, that's because we had been digging for 1,000+ blocks.
Yeah, I was in class, and then, I just came back, and you guys were like, you gotta get on the server.
No. The tunnel's going to be an ice-themed tunnel because it's going to an ice-themed biome, but I need a lot of snow. And because snow golems aren't currently making snow, which lets you have, unlimited snowballs, which is good for making snow blocks. I'm kind of SOL, and I need to figure out a new way to get creepers to not explode, which I know of a way. It just requires a complicated command that I don't know off the top of my hand, but I have it somewhere. I wrote it down.
Off the top of your hand?
Off the top of my hand.
All right.
Exactly. We can do it off the top of my hand, not the top of my head, though.
Okay.
All right. That makes more sense.
I was worried there for a second.
Yeah, you did.
Wow. I must be talking too fast for my brain to keep up.
That's fine.
That is how I roll.
So what else are we got in the news today? I was thinking of
there's
something.
a new Overwatch hero, apparently.
Yes, Bridget.
Is she cool?
She is cool.
What's her deal? I don't know Overwatch.
She is Reinhardt's granddaughter, and she's basically a female Reinhardt. I've seen her design. She looks cool. That's about
She looks like a tank.
Probably.
Well,
I mean,
if she's the granddaughter of Reinhardt.
No,
then...
she looks really sick.
Yeah.
Super cool shield and a mace, and has a rocket flail and some sort of shields and a lot of abilities. I thought they had 4 abilities. She has 8 or 7.
Wow.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Somebody who knows Overwatch, tell me. Oh, she's a support. She's not a tank.
Really?
Huh.
I don't
What
know.
kind of support does, attack buffs?
I'm pretty sure that in the Overwatch canon, she helps Reinhardt maintain his armor.
Her heals, when she overheals, gives armor. That's pretty cool.
That follows.
And she has a shield bash, which is pretty sweet.
Cool.
Sounds like my kind of hero, actually. And she's totally my type.
You have a new waifu? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know anything about Overwatch. No, I mean, she's literally the type of character I like to play in those style games, the MOBA style games.
I see.
Now, Overwatch is like FPS MOBA, right? It's first-person shooter.
It's kind of becoming sort of MOBA-ish with the sheer number of characters that there.
Well, no, it was always meant to be MOBA-ish.
I thought it was just meant to be a replacement for TF2.
I mean, it's surpassed TF2, I believe.
Yeah, no, it was meant to be a combination of a MOBA and a first-person shooter.
I just on a side note, I never expected TF2 to get buried, but
neither did I. I mean, it's still played, so it's still got life.
It's got life, but I mean, once Overwatch came out, man,
the community in TF2 shrunk dramatically when Overwatch happened.
You know, it's hilarious. Whenever I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I always see on the TV Overwatch League. And I'm like, that's not sports.
It's eSports.
It is eSports, but here's the thing. And I'm gonna cause some
Is this gonna be one of our?
Is this gonna be an anti-eSports things?
Our patented controversial moments.
Yes, I don't think eSports are sports. They are whatever you're gonna call them. They're not sports. You know, they are.
I guess they have the spirit of sports, but no,
Kind of.
they don't.
No, they really don't.
People get way too mad
They're
at each
so
other.
toxic. Like, yeah, sports fans are awful. Like, hands down, sports fans are the literal worst fans. In the world of fandom,
As a sports fan, I can confirm.
sports fans are the worst. In the world of fandom, sports fans are worse. But like
Because
MOBA
they
fans,
like actually start riots and stuff. People die.
yeah. MOBA players are kind of close though.
They're pretty
In terms,
close.
like they're not physically like we're going out and rioting and destroying cities,
Nah.
Yet.
but they are
Yet.
awful, awful people.
Yeah. Like they're the kind of people who will dox you if you don't know how to play the game within 5 minutes of starting.
Yeah, and you know what? I like when I play those kind of games. Like I want awesome people to like be there and play with me.
Yeah, I would like to be able to actually learn the game before I'm expected to do well, please.
Yeah, and I mean, League of Legends was like the first big one that I got into. No, I'm sorry. The original Dota for Warcraft 3. That was awesome. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did. And it's a complicated game, but it was cool. And the fact that they were able to do that with Warcraft 3, it was awesome. But I didn't play it super hard or competitively. I just enjoyed playing it, you know? Then League of Legends came out, and the community used to be okay. It wasn't terrible. People were there just kind of having fun, doing whatever.
I remember those early days.
The early days were great. And then I left for a while, came back, and it was awful. Left, came back again because there was a guy I wanted to play. Braum, the big guy with the heart of Poro. He's the big dude with the awesome mustache, and he's got a little fuzzy...
I got nothing.
Yeah, new guy. He's pretty cool looking, and he's got a little snuggly Poro thing.
Oh.
Yeah, he's super cute. He's like manliest to men, but the Poro's like adorable. Scutty, look up a Poro. You'll see what I mean. But then like the community just gets so toxic. Like unless you have people you are playing with that you know, it's not worth playing because it's so toxic.
We have covered
What's the
this
guy's
in
name
depth,
again?
but
One more time?
Poro, Poro, I believe.
we have covered this in depth, but yeah, toxicity.
Oh my goodness, it's so adorable. It looks like a little baby Appa
Octopus.
from not
just
octopus.
come look there, man. Just come look.
A little baby Appa from
That is
Avatar.
adorable.
Yeah, it's like a little ram puffball.
I'm even looking at a fan art that portrays one as Appa.
Oh, oh yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, he's got his little tongue and he's just so happy.
All right. So,
Yeah,
because I mean, we've covered the toxicity thing before.
we have, but it's always it. You know what?
It never
It's
stops
time for me
being
to
relevant.
Give my catchphrase. Don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Fair.
Done.
just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's-
Be pleasant, and people will want to play with you.
I thought your catchphrase was phenomenal.
No, that's just one of my favorite words.
Okay.
But
Fair.
what do I always say? I always say, don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Because it's rude to be a dick. So don't do it.
and no one likes you if you're a dick.
Pretty much. Anyway,
So,
what's next on the agenda?
Okay, so we were just discussing this earlier, but Chrono Trigger is on Steam right now.
Yes.
All right, wait.
But it's not the original Chrono Trigger.
I was going to say a thing.
Okay.
I was going to say, all right, everyone get super excited and get prepared to be let down horribly.
Okay. It's not the original Chrono Trigger. It is the port they made for the mobile devices. And
Wait,
then
what?
yeah, it is a port from the mobile devices to the PC. Why they didn't port the original game, I don't know.
Or even the PSP version.
Yeah, or even that. But they ported the mobile version, and it looks
yeah,
terrible.
The reviews on this thing are mostly negative.
Yeah, you're reading him off Steam. I read the Kotaku article. That first of all, there was a first article that said, "Oh my God, Chrono Trigger has a surprise release on the PC." Immediate article after that, "Oh no, Chrono Trigger looks terrible on the PC," and they were genuinely disappointed.
Well, of all the consoles that it could look terrible on, PC is the least likely.
Yeah.
I would imagine like if they went back to like, actually no, I can't even think of a modern system that they would look bad on.
No, like most modern systems are capable of improving the graphics of most things.
Yeah, or retaining the graphics in the same style.
Yeah,
Like
retaining them and
the recent release of Chrono Trigger Perfect Chronology. I talked about this last week a little bit. The graphics are very similar to what they were back on the DS.
What was that? Where was that released, by the way?
Radiant Historia on the 3DS.
Chrono Trigger Perfect Chronology.
Oh no, Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology was a 3DS game, which is a remake with a little bit of added content from the DS Radiant Historia, which came out in late 2010.
Because you called it Chrono Trigger Historia.
No,
for a
I didn't.
second
I
there.
called it Radiant Historia. You guys must have. I'm talking very quick.
Yeah,
and you guys are quite tight.
We are.
Yeah. So.
Okay,
yeah.
so some of these reviews, like the first one that's right up here, I'm just gonna read this verbatim. It's not terribly long.
All right.
This is a low effort, poor quality port. Avoid at all cost. I didn't want to believe all the negativity behind this game due to me being a blindly loving fanboy for it. It's awful. Compared to the SNES version of the game, it runs at half the frame rate, as if frame skip is on, making it animate in a very choppy fashion. The filter for this tries to smooth out the image quality, but it's about as effective as pouring bleach into your eyes.
Whoa!
Please don't ever
that's
try
bad.
that, for God's sake.
Yeah, no, please don't.
Please don't do that.
That's what the review said. That's what the review says, and that's also what I say.
You
but
know,
to make the matter even worse, the game is zoomed in and more pixelated than ever before.
well, that's what you get when you port a mobile game onto a PC. Now, Chrono Trigger was one of those games that didn't initially do well. But as time went on, people realized how good it was, and it became a cult classic and cult legend.
Really funny. It's a Nintendo JRP. That's self-explanatory.
Square Enix. It was
it's a
done by
Square Enix.
When they were Squaresoft. I believe.
It's a Square Enix RPG with art done by Akira Toriyama. Like, it's pretty hard for that to fail, but it did.
Akira Toriyama being the guy behind Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Dragon Quest?
No, he did Chrono Trigger
Did
too.
he? Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm just like looking at some of the art style.
It's him. There's no way you.
Yeah, it's
just straight
unmistakably him.
Yeah,
just by looking at the style of the characters.
He also did Dragon Quest.
Yeah, he did. Well, he still does.
And Chrono Cross.
Yes.
You were about to say Chrono Trunks.
Yes.
Chrono-
Which is, well, I mean, I guess we know the inspiration now.
I guess so. But yeah, it's really disappointing that they put such low effort into it. You know, they had the opportunity to do something amazing, and they dropped the ball.
Well,
And
I mean,
for that matter, the Legend of Mana remake that they made, not good either.
Really?
Yeah, which is sad because they released the original games as a port, and those are great, but they remade it, and it's not great. Yeah, no, Square's having a rough patch right now.
That follows, considering
literally the second review right after that, the opening line is, Square really outdid themselves this time. You need to try spectacularly hard to screw up a game like Chrono Trigger.
Oh.
Yeah,
Steam reviews can be brutal.
they are. Well,
They can be brutal or hilarious, depending on what you're looking for.
There's a problem with review bombing on Steam, and they're trying to make it better, but there's not much they can do. There's
very few times have I found a game that is unworthy of getting negative that ggets unnecessary hate.
Yeah.
I mean, some people just put a negative to be funny, but occasionally, like with Skyrim, it would.
Skyrim, is a good game, no matter what Steam says.
I guess it's because I was checking out the Legendary Edition of Skyrim.
Yep. And people were just.
Well, people were
messing
upset
around.
about the Creation Club.
Well, yes, it's still bad.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, I don't know how many people are using it, but it's not nearly as good as more than half the mods out there. Like, if there's a mod on the Creation Club, look around on the Nexus, and I'm sure you're going to find something way better. Or even on just Steam.
Well, these
Steam
mods
Workshop.
are canon.
No,
so
they're
to
not
speak.
canon. They're not necessarily canon. They were submitted to Bethesda, and Bethesda overlooked them. and helped make improvements on them or something.
I can guarantee they did not make any improvements on
I
them,
also agree, but it went through the Bethesda process, whatever that means.
which means they added like 40 different bugs.
Maybe.
Shots
know.
fired.
Oh, yeah. See, with Bethesda, they make amazing games. Don't get me wrong.
That are held together with scotch tape.
They pretty much are. The thing is, like, they build such massive worlds that the fact that they run it all is amazing.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Like,
Also, those worlds are really can be really empty.
really empty. Like, you play Breath of the Wild, there's nothing empty. There is no empty space. There's always something going on.
I occasionally found some empty spaces in
But
Breath
it was
of the Wild,
probably
but
intentional then.
Yeah, like those big open fields that are purely meant just to gallop across gloriously with your horse.
yeah,
Which, I mean, they serve a purpose. And also, if there was something everywhere, it'd be a little bit unrealistic. I mean, the open field
Point-
looked like a swamp or something.
point being that there's more in there than some Bethesda games.
Oh, everything was handcrafted there. Like, you find little things that are like little hints that somebody was there, or that they're referencing a different game in the Zelda timeline. And it's really fun to find those little things. I absolutely love that they did that. And I'm like, somebody spent the time to perfectly craft this specific area of terrain just so somebody might find it.
Which
it makes
is
it worth exploring.
pretty similar to the Skyrim dungeons. Definitely gave me that vibe after going through Skyrim again and then looking back on Breath of the Wild. Like, Breath of the Wild has the amount of attention to detail that Skyrim put into its dungeons.
Some of their dungeons.
I don't know. I think most dungeons in Skyrim are pretty well thought out.
They are, but some of them are just a little bit lackluster.
I mean, they're all gray rock cavernous places.
Some of them aren't. I like the ones.
Some are dwarf areas, but
Those ones are always fun. Those ones are incredibly well
And then
done.
there's that one really massive underground space where
With the
where you-
Falmer?
Yeah, with the Falmer and the red Nern root, and then there's a
yes,
huge
I remember that.
and then there's a huge dwarven fortress, and then you fight a dragon down there.
yeah.
Oh, there was like 3 Dwarven fortresses connected with one of them. I can't remember which. It's crazy. Like, half of Skyrim is actually on top of a Dwarven fortress.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Dwemer. Not Dwarven, Dwemer.
They're not even
They're,
dwarves.
they're like colloquially known as dwarves.
Yes.
Colloquially. Oh, man.
They were,
I'm not
I
even
believe,
trying.
actually short.
No, they just
No?
looked like dark elves.
No, those are the Falmer.
No, I know, but Dwemer looked just like dark elves.
Have they even... Now I'm going to look this up.
At least that's my recollection. I think you encounter one in Oblivion.
You do...
Bad things happen
I don't
to
think...
them, by
No,
the
no,
way.
they are actually dwarves.
Oh, bad things happen to them, by the way. Really bad stuff.
The Dwemer?
Yeah.
No, they did it to themselves.
I know they did it to themselves, but still bad stuff happened.
In Skyrim, there's a quest line in the College of Winterhold that implies that they are totally okay.
Really?
And not in a bad place at all.
Because the way I heard it was that they basically sent themselves to Lovecraft World.
No, they sent themselves somewhere else, but there you help somebody get to where the Dwemer are, and then you see him, and he's like, everything's fine. Except, like, he's communicating via whatever ghosty spirit magic.
I love ghosty spirit magic.
I don't know, or whatever technology they have, because the Dwemer were super advanced.
They were.
Like, super advanced.
Most quest lines in Skyrim that involve the Dwemer are just basically, we can't figure out how they did it, so we're gonna need a lot of them, a lot of this Dwemer stuff. So
Even though we don't really know how it works.
yeah,
Pretty much.
we'll work backwards from there.
You know what? We don't know how to turn it off, so just break it all.
There you go.
That's the obvious way to do it, isn't it?
My favorite way to kill a Dwarven Colossus is by shooting arrows at it.
My
Like,
favorite way is by
Not
sneak
not
attacking
even not even magic arrows, just arrows, because apparently that's you do that enough times it'll still die.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, my favorite is when you one-hit KO them with a sneak attack from behind, and you're just like, how did this work? This thing is giant. I hit it in the leg.
My favorite thing was to sneak attack them, try to make it so that they don't die instantly, and then they attack all the Falmer in the area.
That is pretty funny.
That's always my favorite, man. Just clear out the entire dungeon for me.
The thing is, when I'm playing a sneaky character, there are no Falmer left. I just go ahead and sneak attack, you're dead. Sneak attack, you're dead.
I've been playing kind of like a combat archer but he does have some sneak ability.
Oh, my favorite was when I one-hit KO'd Alduin with a crossbow. Not even sneaking.
Just straight up.
Yeah. Crossbows got broken
Yeah.
real hard.
They're
If you get
broken.
the fully enhanced Dwemer crossbow, and you enchant it properly with dual enchanting, and you have 100 in your archery skill, plus all the gear that increases your archery skill, you do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
A lot of damage. Oh, and then if you take a potion, because of course you leveled your alchemy
Or
with your
multiple
enchanting.
potions.
They don't stack.
They don't stack?
If you're increasing by 40%, you're increasing by 40%. It just, yeah, no. The health potions stack.
Are you telling me you've been wasting your potions, Bearman?
I've been wasting a lot of potions, Scutty.
It doesn't stack the way you think it does. You can only have one potion effect, one necklace effect. It stacks. Kind of. It like if you have a necklace and a glove and a boot.
Just the ones though. Just the one glove and the one boot.
Yeah, exactly. If you have one of those, those bonuses will stack. But the potion, if you take like 6 potions, well, yeah.
Yeah.
What you do though is, if you really want to be like, if you want to do it the right way and not the cheaty-ish way, what you do is you make enchanting potions with alchemy, and you have like a bunch of rings. Okay, you down your potions of alchemy, down your potion of enchanting, make a ring that has a higher enchanting value on the alchemy, put it on, make another one, and keep doing that over and over and over, and eventually you can reach ridiculous heights, like beyond what the game accounted for.
Huh.
Like,
That's good to know.
oh, it takes a long time though. Like, you have to stand there and just do it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you have to have a lot of stuff, obviously, because potions only last like 30-40 seconds with enchanting potions. So like, you better know what you're doing when you take that potion, and you better be at an enchanting station and have everything ready to go. So yeah, also you have to have a lot of grand soul gems.
That's pretty easy after I completed Dawn Guard.
Yeah, well, you gotta. Yeah, I mean, most of the stores will sell them, and you can just buy them for like a couple grand.
Okay, I'm looking at the funny reviews for Skyrim right now.
Oh yeah.
I found one that seems particularly hilarious, at least to me.
Okay.
Is made an Argonian, named him Larry. You're a lizard, Larry. Went to the Standing Stones and chose Mage. You're a wizard lizard, Larry. Traveled to Windhelm. You're a wizard lizard in a blizzard, Larry. Got drunk in New Nis Corner Club. Murdered a guard in cold blood. You just littered, Larry, you lizard wizard in this blizzard. It's because I'm a liquored wizard lizard in this blizzard. 10 out of 10.
Now say that 10 times fast.
Let's not, because I can see where that can go poorly.
It really could. I just realized it myself.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that Steam has a specific filter for looking at the funny reviews.
Yeah. That's a great feature.
It's an
'cause some of them are
amazing-
like the funniest
Some of
things.
these are so.
Yeah. So, you know,
golden.
speaking of liquor, I love games where you
Speaking of liquor.
Speaking of liquor,
Yeah, speaking of liquor, I love games that incorporate brewing and things that what? Yeah, Stardew Valley. I know, I do love Stardew Valley quite a lot.
You're not the beer baron anymore, George, because you stopped playing.
so did Frost.
Yeah.
I did too.
But like, I'm really busy playing all these other games, specifically like two other games. But like, also a lot of work.
I agree that having brewery stuff in video games is always really fun.
Yeah, there was apparently a game that came out a while ago that I was meaning to pick up and then totally forgot to, which was about owning your own tavern.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Own fantasy tavern, and I wanted to play it.
It's on Steam.
Is
I
it?
believe. Yeah.
Well, I might check it out because it looked really cool. And like, yeah,
Man, I like, because it's awesome RPG element that can really have fun, exploitable things for an economy in-game economy. It's kind of like joining the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. Like,
Yeah.
you once you have it, like once you're in the Thieves Guild,
you got whatever you want.
I have like over 100,000 gold.
Yeah, no, there's once you join the Thieves Guild, you're set.
The
All right.
economy in general is kind of buggered.
Yeah,
It kind of is.
The Skyrim economy is not very great.
I mean, they did their best.
I mean, like, it doesn't really make any sense, though, because all merchants have X amount of money. All of them only have, like, 1,000 gold each.
Yeah.
So you have to...
that makes sense, though. On a realism level, merchants don't have unlimited money.
No, I'm not asking for unlimited money, but, you know, like, maybe a mod for an improved economy system.
I'm sure there is one.
I'm sure there is, too. But it's definitely something to consider for Eldum Scrolls.
Eldum Scrolls.
Yeah, Eldum Scrolls.
All dem scrolls.
Eldum Scrolls.
All a damn scroll.
Elder Scrolls 6 should definitely have a better economy system.
You know, I haven't heard much about Elder Scrolls 6 at all.
I have heard that they're beginning working on it, and that was about a year ago.
I also heard that. There was a screen cap that went out.
I wouldn't believe any screen caps.
I wouldn't.
But I remember.
But it looks really cool.
I remember it was supposed to be like an interview with Todd.
Yep.
Praise be he.
Uh-huh.
The man who puts Skyrim on everything.
Yes.
Apparently he said that, yeah, we're starting to work on it. Then again, I could just be confusing that with the MMO. Do you remember that there's an Elder Scrolls MMO?
Yeah, you remember how it's not doing much anymore?
Well,
yeah. You remember how there's a Final Fantasy MMO? It's actually
Yeah.
really good.
I've heard that.
I played it over the winter, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. The story is phenomenal, and I mean this. They did an amazing job with the story in general. My biggest gripe is they had really good voice acting in the initial release of the current generation of Final Fantasy Online. Well, when Heaven's Ward came out, they changed all the voice actors.
Whoa.
So I went from being like, oh, wow, I love this, to all of a sudden, all the voices are different after one quest.
That's incredibly jarring.
It was grating. I was like, what happened? Whoa. Everybody was like a mix of, American, British, that kind of stuff. Now they're all British. Why? Oh, they moved to London in between the releases. Okay. That makes sense.
Did you know that they actually incorporated the shutdown of the previous MMO?
They did.
As a quest? Kind of. So the first story of A Realm Reborn picks up where they left off with the old MMO. With the world being destroyed.
Kind of. The world was not destroyed. The world was saved by Louis Sois.
Who?
Yeah. Super awesome Archmage. Like, master of magics beyond mortal kenning.
Fair enough.
He was really good at magic. And he had a staff that lets him, absorb all of the aether. Which is good. So, super, super awesome. I don't know the old story. I didn't play. And I'm kind of curious as to what it is. But the story
the game was
with
awful,
each...
though.
What?
Apparently it was awful, though.
They didn't do a good job implementing things, yeah. But no, apparently from... and I've experienced this. From the base A Realm Reborn to Heaven's Ward to Stormblood, the most recent expansion, the story gets better and better and better. They haven't gone down in quality. They've gone up in quality with the story. And it's phenomenal. It really is. And I was really enjoying it. I didn't actually finish Stormblood because I had to come back and do work again.
Yeah.
Yay, work. But apparently, I just read this earlier, and I was telling you two, they're adding some content from Final Fantasy III into Final Fantasy XIV.
Our first question was, which Final Fantasy III?
And I believe they actually mean Final Fantasy III.
Yeah, I don't know if I was just zoned out or what. I didn't think the answer actually happened to that question.
It was regular Final Fantasy III.
Yeah, it's just not
See, we
6.
we should explain a little bit.
Yeah.
In the U.S., Final Fantasy III was actually the Japanese Final Fantasy VI, so we kind of skipped ahead of the timeline.
Kind of, but I believe they mean Final Fantasy III.
Yeah,
because
actual
this is
Final Fantasy.
Because this is Square Enix, and they're gonna do whatever was 3, not the weird localization issues. Because
of which there are many.
There are very, very. Oh, so apparently, going back to Stardew Valley, there is going to be a new game in the same universe as Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with a wizard element.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But there's already a wizard.
Harry Potter-esque.
Really?
Supposed to be, according to the creator, Harry Potter meets Stardew Valley. Are you sold yet?
No.
Really?
I'm not really.
Why
I
not,
love
though?
Stardew Valley. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I don't really care for Harry Potter all that much. Like, I liked it, but it's not like my favorite thing in the world.
Dude.
I mean, it's okay. It's not my favorite.
All right. Well, I have high hopes for this one. Stardew Valley also just recently got a multiplayer patch.
Yeah, they did.
It should
should
be
try that.
fully
Yes,
ready
we
soon.
should.
We should try that.
I would absolutely love to do that.
Is it cross-platform?
I don't think so.
Is it, well, what console is the multiplayer for then?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Oh, okay.
The guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Really amazing.
One-man team, basically.
No, everything. Music, graphics, coding, everything.
He and Toby Fox, man.
Mm-hmm.
They should get together.
They should. That would be amazing.
Toby Fox created Underworld.
Yes.
Undertale.
Underworld, wow.
He created the whole underworld. All of it.
All of it.
Yep.
Like
Hades and all.
He
It was
dug
him.
the river Styx himself.
Yes, he did. And he filled it with the tears.
With
The tears.
with the tears.
Yes, the
Just
tears that
the
come from
tears.
the tears that come from programming.
That's a lot of tears.
Yep. That's why it's such a sad river.
Oh. So what I was gonna say a thing and I completely forgot what it was. It was related though. Wizard, yes.
Yeah, the Wizard Dew Valley.
Yeah, Wizard Dew Valley.
Is that what it's? No, I'm like, if that's its name, I'd be like, dude, you can come up with something else.
No.
No, that on the contrary, that makes me want to play it more.
I imagine this is going to have a much heavier combat element than Stardew Valley, which already was fairly combat oriented if you
Kind of.
wanted to.
It was in a
Yeah.
highly specific sense, but
Yes.
it was simple enough to matter.
Yeah.
it did in
It's
fact
easy to
matter.
understand.
Yeah, you swing weapon at enemies and they take hits.
And there's only like the one button to do it.
Yes,
Well, I mean, that one button
yes, It's a
kind of
good
does
button.
it's a good button. It does everything.
It does, depending on what you're holding. Just like Harvest Moon, the one button does everything, and the other buttons are for changing that everything.
Speaking of going on the attack,
On the attack,
I have begun my conversion of Frost to the world of wrestling.
okay, yeah, you got me interested because you said there was a Deadpool-esque character in WWE.
Yes.
Ooh,
Enter Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, so he showed me these best of Dean Ambrose videos on YouTube.
I don't think I've ever seen you laugh so much.
The guy is like a Deadpool.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not killing everybody, which is probably good for the best.
Yeah.
But just some of the stuff he pulls, it's just like you can't help but laugh.
Could you list some of the stuff he's done?
I mean, he put a slime cannon in a briefcase once.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
A hot dog cart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He brought out a hot dog cart, started eating the hot dogs from it, and when the other wrestlers went after him, he used it as a weapon,
Like you do.
like you do. He also on his hips had a holster full of ketchup and mustard, which he used.
He used radish as a weapon.
Relish
As a weapon.
and sauerkraut too.
I imagine a radish is also an effective weapon.
I'm sure.
Well, Super
he
Mario
could.
Brothers 3 showed us that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if you're not a Mario
were
brother,
turnips.
you could just beat somebody over the head with one.
Yeah.
Radishes aren't really all that good. Turnips though.
Turnips.
Turnips are better.
There's your bludgeoning weapon.
There you
Yep. Radishes, you might irritate somebody by sticking them up their nose.
Now, anything I showed for that day, anything I showed you after that involved wrestling, your first question was, "Hey, is Dean Ambrose in this?" And then followed up by, "This should have Dean Ambrose in it."
I think it should. Like, they need the comic relief. They get so testosterone pumped, and they're like arguing back and forth. You just need this guy walking in there eating a hot dog.
Well, they had that element at when they were having a stare down. He just went, "You know what?" Walked back and forth, didn't say anything, just kind of stared down for like half a second, and then punched a guy in the face.
Yep. You know what? Hold this.
Yeah.
It's just, you know what's going to happen, but you still laugh regardless because it happened.
Yeah. Like
It's
there that
like every time somebody's smack talking Dean Ambrose, he appears behind him
Yeah.
and just sits there, just nodding his head, looking around.
just like he makes some pretty good points. Oh wait, that's me.
Yes. He wore a bear costume.
Yeah, he wore a bear costume and attacked the Miz.
Yep. Well, he
I
always
don't know.
attacks
How do you feel about the appropriation of your bear culture, though?
I'm all right with the Dean. Dean Ambrose scares me.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a very nice guy.
He's a really chill guy.
But, like, I don't know if I'd want to meet his character.
No.
Yeah, no.
But, yeah.
I mean, unless I'm Roman Reigns, because they're like bros.
They are bros. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns are bros, but that might not be happening soon.
You mean Dean Ambrose and Roman?
Dean Ambrose might be turning heel.
Oh, you're right.
Which is for
heel
those...
is the bad guy, right?
Yes.
Heel is the bad guy. Hero's the good guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they fight. But I think he'd make a really good heel.
See, my theory is the villain, because right now Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are teaming up with another guy. So I think Dean's going to come back from his injury because he was really injured in real life. And
like they accidentally hurt him, and it was never intentional. Of course.
It was never intentional. He had to sit it out, but they're taking advantage of it in storylines because that's what wrestling does.
Yeah, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade and sell it to millions because Vince McMahon.
Yeah, and I think he's going to come back and he's going to be like, "What? So I was just your wild card? That's all I was to you. I wasn't your friend." But again, it's really hard not to...
He's going to feel so betrayed.
Yeah, it's really hard not to feel bad for him.
Like, here he was. He thought they were brothers, and they weren't.
Like, they had a really good back and forth. As much as people like to criticize Roman Reigns, I will say that he can be really witty when they don't have a scripted promo for him.
Right. I think if they let Roman Reigns do Roman Reigns, not what they say.
It's difficult, though. It's difficult, though. Now that The Undertaker is coming back, definitely.
Wait, he's coming back? I thought you said he retired.
No, he's coming back.
Isn't he in his 60s?
He is entering his 60s.
My word.
But it's just like... It's tricky, because...
It's tricky. It's tricky.
This song has been brought to you by Frost.
Yeah. Well, you remember that was from the snowboarding game. Yeah.
Snowboarding game?
There was a snowboarding game like Tricky. 1080 snowboarding Tricky.
Oh, God, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what was it? I forget the name of the snowboarding game, but it was actually kind of fun. Because, like, if you did really good, you got, it's tricky.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
But like going back to that, like it was difficult because Roman was starting to get like actual people liking him again because, they let him do what he wanted to do. But then they hinted at a heel turn after he quote unquote retired The Undertaker. I'm doing the finger quotes
Quote,
right
unquote.
now.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool how I thought, because I'm what they call a smark, which is like a person who still like falls for it, but I know where they're going with it, kind of.
Uh-huh. So you're a smart mark. Is that the combination?
Yes. A mark.
You know that it's not real, but you like where it's going anyway?
I mean, like, everyone knows it's not real at this point.
Yes.
But there's still... A mark is somebody who, like, falls for it, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, it's not real, but they're like... You're like, oh, man, what's going to happen? A smark is, like, somebody who goes, like, oh, man... Why are they doing this? I love this. I'm so conflicted. What's happening?
Then what do they call people who know it's not real? Just
anything.
Anything?
Marks.
What do they call people who think it's real? Like, there's got to be terminology.
Aren't those just marks?
I guess they're just regular marks. Maybe I'm getting my terminology mixed up, but
maybe they call them like true fans, or I don't know.
You remember that one? Well, let's talk about Roman Reigns for a hot second.
Let's talk about Roman Reigns. Scutty, what do you got about Roman Reigns?
Okay, so the general consensus is that, well, the fans don't like him,
which is unfortunate. I think he's cool,
but the company.
You're the mark.
Yes, you are in this case.
I mean,
you're the person.
I don't know much about it, so
exactly.
I'm going based on.
You're the person that they're marketing T-shirts to.
I'm not going to buy a T-shirt of it. All right. I just feel bad for him. I'm empathetic. That's what it is.
Yeah. I am also empathetic for Roman.
Well, yeah, it's really quite sad. The company really wants him to be the next John Cena
because John Cena is getting a bit old.
John Cena is 40.
Yeah.
Just like John Cena was the next Hulk Hogan.
Right.
Well, he was
without the racism.
So, yeah. So our way of fame goes Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
was the first megastar.
No, that was Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, yeah, but if we're going, are we going by WWE or wrestling in general?
I mean, like,
Let's go WWE just to make things simpler.
Then I'd say Ric Flair. No, not Ric Flair.
he
I would
wasn't
say-
in WWE?
Not initially.
Well, no, and obviously not initially. He was operating during the territory days.
He was operating during the territory days, and then he followed up with WCW, Jim Crockett Promotions,
Yep.
which was like WWE's Western counterpart.
Yep.
So WWE's, their main guy was Hogan,
Yep.
and they tried a few other guys.
Didn't work out as well.
You had Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, who were...
What about Ultimate Warrior? Somebody in the chat said
All right.
Ultimate Warrior.
All right, so that Ultimate Warrior is a tricky guy to talk about because he's very interesting to look at. But if you actually look at his wrestling ability, it's not very much. And a lot of people backstage were actually afraid to go up against him because they were worried he was going to hurt them.
So like he
The
didn't
man
know
was
how to.
the
He
man
didn't know
was
how to fake
actu-
it.
the man was actually crazy.
Yeah, the
Okay.
man was very, very...
And I think people are agreeing with us in the chat that they pushed Roman too hard.
Yeah, they really did. And it's unfortunate because I haven't seen, I mean, you and me saw some stuff where he was actually really witty.
Right. That
but
was his first appearance with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Apparently in
Right?
some conventions, he's actually like, people are like, man, he's could be funnier than The Rock occasionally.
Yeah.
And that's a scary,
That
Yeah,
is.
that's a real accomplishment.
because The Rock can turn almost anything into gold.
Almost anything, except
Almost
for like
anything.
that one time.
Which one time?
Well, 2 times. There was the Diva Search, which was a reality show.
That sounds awful.
Yeah,
It was
I just have
awful.
to say the name. And pushing Roman Reigns.
Well, because the company told him to.
He went out there, he held up Roman's arm, and people booed hard. People booed very hard. And you can actually see
The Rock get hurt.
you could see the confusion and sadness on his face. I want you to look at The Rock. I want you to look at a picture of The Rock smiling
Yeah.
and try to say boo to it.
No, you can't.
So imagine how angry people were when this happened.
Yeah.
Like the thing that made me recall.
Well, the fact
all
that
of-
people booed The Rock.
It booed Rock and Roman.
Yeah.
But the thing that made me recall this, had been talking about like compilations of, because we watch a lot of compilations of like botches and the like.
A
And,
botch is a wrestling flub, somebody messing up in some way.
Okay.
yeah, either by like stuttering during a promo or by messing up a stunt somehow.
Yeah.
And we were watching a compilation of like weird WWE fans, and there was a video of this one guy who was really, really upset that Roman Reigns lost a match.
Yeah.
And we
Oh,
looked at
no.
each other and we were just like, wait, does he have a real fan?
Yeah, I mean, all right. So again,
I mean, I'm happy for him that he has a fan.
I'm happy for him.
Well,
too.
yeah, but at the same time,
Hey,
like your
we gotta
first reaction is what?
I want to.
We have to speak with compassion here on the show.
We're all right. We're very compassionate. I like to think, at least for me, if I'm booing Roman Reigns, I'm not booing Roman Reigns the wrestler. I'm booing Roman Reigns the idea. I'm booing the idea that the company is pushing somebody who wasn't ready to tackle the main event scene
Yep.
just yet. Somebody who had
They need to build him
infinite
up more.
potential.
They need to build him up more in the sidelines.
Yeah, like
Maybe with that group he was with for a little while.
yeah, the Shield. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. People liked him in the Shield. He was kind of like they're quiet heavy.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then they had to make him say they tried to make his catchphrase "suffer and succotash."
which is I can't believe like that hasn't been cool since the 50s.
No, and you're getting an idea of Vince McMahon now.
I do. He's a terrible human being. He really is.
It's not great.
No, that's a well-known fact.
There are a lot of interesting backstage stories on Vince McMahon. Apparently, he didn't know what a burrito was, despite having been eating them for lunch every day that week.
Yeah, sounds like a smart guy.
But yeah, like, I mean, even John Cena went through his stage where he was booed mercilessly. But
Well, maybe there's hope for Roman then.
I mean, you could try. I'd like them to give some other guys a turn. Shinsuke Nakamura, legitimate tough guy, massive star in Japan. The king of strong style, basically human anime. Really cool guy. Has a style all of his own. Scutty, what did you think of his intro? Because I know that's what really sold us on him initially.
I'm sorry, I zoned out for a bit. Which
Shinsuke Nakamura?
Oh yes. His intro music is absolutely insane. It's just like it's a string quartet usually, and it's just like really wild and
electric violin.
Really?
It builds and it builds and then somehow a violin beat drops.
Yeah.
I didn't even know violins could have a beat that dropped.
You know, say what you want about WWE, but their music department is insanely good.
It's pretty great.
That's pretty smart. To build somebody up by their music choice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Shinsuke also has he's been in the industry for a long time. He's a master of he's an actual like tough guy. He did actual fighting competitions in which he won quite a bit. I believe he's like I don't know what exactly his form of martial arts is, but I know that it's supposedly incredibly deadly. Like I'm talking real martial arts. Like it was a Brazilian twist on Japan, on some sort of Japanese martial art. Somebody in the chat might be able to fill me in on what it is, but really cool stuff. The guy is a great performer, and even if you can't always like understand what he's getting at, he just says it so like I'm not even sure what the word is. Earnestly. It's just so earnest.
Yes. He goes into it whole hog. Yeah.
I believe he has, I don't know if he knows much English, but they also gave him a mouth guard for a while, which was a weird choice because he also has a very heavy accent, which made it kind of hard to understand him.
Yeah.
Plus the mouth guard made it like, but he still went at it like, he didn't care, and the fans love it. Samoa Joe, my favorite heel, like just this absolutely dominating force guy. I mean, he comes out to Godzilla music.
Wow.
He uses part of the Godzilla theme for his music. So
well, I mean, that makes perfect.
I mean, and you want Dean Ambrose more.
I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, his music, you just know something's...
The kind of the chainsaw rev with the guitar, though.
Yep. But it's like, but sometimes it doesn't play because he just sneaks out there.
Yeah, what was your favorite sneak attack by Dean?
You kind of have to go with the bear costume.
Just because of how weird it was?
Because of how weird it was. But like the one where it wasn't necessarily sneak attack, but when he was playing the ref.
Yeah.
I kind of like the one where he was a camera guy.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
That was brilliant. And they're ragging on him and they're like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And then he just puts down the camera.
He slowly figures it out.
Yeah.
Gets from behind and dirty deeds him.
Oh, that was I loved it because at that point you were just like calling it dirty deeds, like yeah.
Well, because it is kind of it like grabs him in a headlock and a reverse headlock and then falls backwards on him or something.
It's a gut kick with a reverse headlock. It's kind of like the Stone Cold Stunner.
Well, what's amazing about it is it looks like it hurts, but in reality, it wouldn't.
It hurts slightly, but the way he does it, like it. That's kind of the whole thing. A lot of people assume that in wrestling, when you take a bump, it doesn't hurt because most like casual fans think that, but it does hurt. It just hurts a lot less than the way they portray it.
Right. Well, that kind of falling backward. I mean, most of the fall is being absorbed by Dean Ambrose.
Yes,
he's falling on his own, so he knows how to take the fall, and it's not going to hurt him all that much. The other guy is basically just going for the ride, but he's not going to hit the ground.
Well, they're like it
hard.
It's kind of complicated because like you have to kind of look at it in slow mo to see how it's broken down. Dean also has a background in hardcore wrestling, which hardcore wrestling is Scutty, why don't you?
It's some of the most brutal it's the most brutal kind of wrestling you'll ever witness. There's
they take it to a whole nother step, and I think we should leave it there because it is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to look it up for yourselves, do, but be forewarned. It's bloody.
It's very bloody and actually bloody.
Yep.
But for the most part, it only looks bad. It's not like real terrible damage.
Tell that to Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Okay, but Mick Foley is an exception to the rule, dude.
Yeah. So I got some bad news.
What?
Stan Lee has pneumonia, and he's in his 90s.
Oh,
that's not good.
No, there's
Well, he's also got access to
I'm sure with his stupid amount of money, he's gonna have the best care that the world can buy.
Right, and he's so beloved, somebody's gonna find something. And it's not necessarily the worst.
No.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of hope there.
Yes, there is.
Aside from that, we should probably go back and explain our Mick Foley thing.
Let's just say he lost a particular body part that normally is associated with your face and is required for hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
And
during a match.
Yes.
During a match.
His number one complaint about that, I don't think I ever told you that, Frost, was that it wasn't worked into a storyline.
No, it just happened.
That would have been an amazing angle.
The whole thing was,
for a feud.
Yeah, he was upset that his loss of an ear wasn't worked into a storyline for a wrestling feud. Like he could have had an amazing feud with the man who cost him his ear. That's what he said. He wanted to have a feud with Vader, who was known as the Mastodon, this big giant, this big 300-pound guy who is actually pretty athletic considering his weight.
Brock Lesnar type athletic?
No, because Brock Lesnar's in a whole nother category. Brock Lesnar moves like a luchador in terms of speed.
Didn't you say he retired, or it might be retiring?
He's probably going to leave the WWE after WrestleMania.
Wait, WrestleMania didn't happen? Or
no.
Yet?
April 3rd.
Oh, okay.
April 3rd is WrestleMania
week,
which it's not actually WrestleMania week, it's WrestleMania weekend, but it's gotten so big at this point that it might as well be a week. It's basically become a con with a con with a show, which, as I say that, sounds really cool.
It does.
As a concept, it seems all right.
But it's also Vince McMahon's concept, so...
Well, Vince McMahon's slowly phasing out of the company, which is, I'm sure, super frustrating to him.
Yep.
There's probably a lot of semi-complex reasons for that, not the least of which being how old he is.
The man's 74.
Who?
Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And he's still working out constantly.
He's still in fairly good shape, excepting a couple of televised incidents that were unintentionally hilarious.
Oh yeah,
I can think of two.
There was the one where his legs failed him.
Yeah,
at the same time.
So during one of the Royal Rumbles, which is an event where people have to get thrown out of the ring to get eliminated from the fight, a ton of people come in. Two people were left: John Cena and Dave Bautista, who is currently Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Big congrats there.
Yes. Yep.
So it ties into other nerdy things.
Yeah.
It does.
They both fell on the ground at the same time, and they both should have been eliminated. John Cena was supposed to win.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon was not happy about this happening. This was a complete accident, by the way.
Okay, so they fell and
it was by script. It was by accident.
Yeah, as scripted as things can be, there's still an element of randomness.
Stuff happens. Sometimes people can't get up for the pin, so they have to lose because you can't make it. You have to make it seem convincing.
Yes.
And Vince McMahon came out because he that's his whole thing. He's the angry owner. He's mad that this happened. He comes out, goes into the ring, tries to stand up. One of his quads tear. His quadricep muscle.
Who?
Vince McMahon.
Really?
So he goes back down immediately.
Yeah, he tries to get up. Yeah, he goes back down immediately. He tries to get up again. His quad tears.
The other quad.
The other quad tears.
Oh,
Neither
my.
of his legs work now.
So he's sitting on the floor of the ring, barking orders like an angry child, man. And it's the most beautiful thing in the world. I highly recommend looking up the clip.
I will
then
have
there
to get you
was
to show me that.
And then there's the other one where
Well, he straight up pooped himself.
It's kind of true.
He was
he
walking.
literally did this.
Yeah, he's just walking to the ring and he pooped himself, and then he finished the match.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know if it's. I've only like seen the clip like once, but I'm sure if you look closely,
Well,
enough,
he's coming down angry.
They've got some pretty quick editing there, since they do a lot of this stuff live.
Yeah, like he's you could kind
But
of
if
see a
you-
moment
but
of
I'm
realization.
Like, if you look at his face at the right moment, you can see when he's realized, oh no, this is awful. I have to keep going.
And that can sum up the WWE recently. And that can sum up the WWE for its entirety. Oh no, this is awful. I have to keep going.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
It's not all bad. It's not all
No,
bad.
it's not.
No, but that
It's
just
not.
sounds amazing, and I want to see this now.
Like, some of these car crashes are just absolutely golden.
Yeah, it's just like, oh god, there's
Is it even okay in any measure to talk about what's his name? Scott Steiner?
Scott Steiner. All right, we can't talk about the things that Scott Steiner says, but we could talk. Well, we can talk about
some of what he says.
Some of what he says. Scott Steiner is an.
His arms are so. You look at his arms and you immediately get so squicked out because it look.
The veins. The veins are terrifying.
You've shown me this,
The vein-
and they are monstrous.
Could you
just not like the arms themselves?
The arms themselves are like bodybuilder level.
They're fine, aside
From
from
the
the
veins.
fact that the veins look like they're
like-
physically trying to
It
escape
looks like
his
somebody shoved
arms.
surgical tubing in his arm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when he flexes, his arm it like goes up to his forehead.
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying.
We should post a picture of it
I'm
on
not going to.
on the DJ Frost
I'm
Facebook
not,
page.
I'm absolutely not going to do that.
All right. Well, Scott Steiner.
You need to put something on the DJ Frost Facebook page.
I just actually posted something to the DJ Frost Facebook page
All
as
right.
we speak,
Well,
and it's not wrestling related whatsoever.
oh, that's.
I actually posted a quiz that Fairy Tale put out, and it was, what kind of magic wizard are you? And I got Dragon Slayer, because of course I got Dragon Slayer. And I've literally thought about this before, and I've thought about it a lot, and I've always thought that I would be an Ice Dragon Slayer. Because, first of all, I love ice magic. I think it's super cool, but I also love Dragon Slayer magic. And obviously I'd want them both, so Ice Dragon Slayer. I've always thought about it, and that's always what I wanted to be if I was in the Fairy Tale universe.
Okay.
And this just confirms it. I'm clearly meant to be a Dragon Slayer.
There you
Okay,
go.
this is a thing that I've been contemplating for a good while now.
Mhm.
Okay. You're in a fantasy setting.
Yep.
You're like, as you are now, you happen to have control of magic. I would want to choose lightning magic for one reason only.
Okay.
I would want to somehow be able to create an electric guitar.
out of lightning.
Out
yeah,
of lightning?
with lightning magic.
That is awesome.
Well,
Just
the
fast-
science behind an electric guitar isn't that complicated. I'm sure you could do it.
Yeah, I know. And then I would have command over freaking out several armies because nobody has ever heard sick riffs before.
Do you know how to play the guitar?
Absolutely not. That'll make it even
It would just
worse.
be screeching.
I know. That's why I'll have the advantage and
No.
I'll figure it out.
What you need to do is you need to be sitting lone on the hill, right? While
Yeah.
the army advances.
Yep.
And then you take out your lightning electric violin and you play the Shinsuke Nakamura theme.
See, learning a violin is even harder than a guitar. Guitar is significantly easier.
It's worth it
yes
just
and
for the
no.
theme.
It's just different.
I've made some vague attempts at violining when I was like 4 and I gave up instantly because
you were
sorry.
4.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the 4-year-old. You know, we can't all be Mozart.
No.
Mozart learned at 4.
We all can't be Aerosmith.
Yeah.
What do you think I am?
We can't be
Bon Jovi.
We can't be Ego Raptor and being born drawing Mozart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
can't be like those people who are super good at things immediately because, yeah,
We can't be Scott Steiner.
we can't have
I don't
surgical
want to
tubing
be
for veins.
Scott Steiner.
Oh, all right. So we never specified, but Scott
He's a
Steiner.
dick.
Well,
End of story.
all right, yeah, but Scott Steiner is a very interesting man because his promos, the interviews, the talking you do in the ring,
Sure.
he just doesn't care. Not only does he not care, he doesn't have a very good grasp on the English language, which is his first language.
It's his only language.
It's his only language.
Like you
Well, that and testosterone.
That and testosterone.
You look up Scott Steiner compilation on YouTube, the first one you'll find is Scott Steiner versus the English language.
Yes, and you played that for me when I was driving. That was a difficult drive.
Scott Steiner, some of his quotes include, all right, so I'm going to say,
22 to 3% chance.
So-
So, can we mention that he wears a chainmail coif on his head and not much else?
Yeah.
He wears
Sunglasses.
some boxer type
just
shorts.
a chainmail coif and sunglasses together
Yes.
at the same
sometimes
time.
he wears a chainmail
Bikini bottom. type
bikini thing. He wears a thong regularly.
Yes. The guy's interesting.
He wears a thong regularly.
and he calls himself the genetic freak.
He calls himself Freakzilla, Big Papa Pump, and
I just want to know what this guy is like in real life.
apparently he manages a Shoney's now, or he owns a Shoney's.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I found that out
you all know
today.
what Shoney's are, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, Shoney's is like southern
Denny's.
chain restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, they're decent.
They're kind of like Denny's.
Kind of, except I think there's a buffet.
Yeah.
There is a buffet at these Shoney's. So it's okay. I mean, on a southern road trip, I'd eat there.
If you go on Scott Steiner's Twitter, half of it is him yelling about stuff.
Yeah.
And the other half of it is him retweeting his Shoney's.
Which is kind of hilarious.
This is a real thing. I am dead serious.
I kind of believe you that. I mean,
It's just an interesting life choice.
the
that he
man
owns a
is so
Shoney's.
insane that I don't know. I would believe literally anything you told me about his deeds.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So,
Yeah, but his D's aren't dirty.
yeah.
No.
That'd be an interesting face-off.
That's
Dean Ambrose versus Scott Steiner. That's an interesting
that's
face-off right
two
there.
That would be-
two very different brands of insanity.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Like one
Apparently
of them
we
is
scared everybody off of the chat.
What?
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
Oh.
Let's talk about nerdier things.
All right.
okay. So here's
Scott Steiner, not good at English, pretty weird. Surgical tubing for arms. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of a follow-up to a topic that we discussed last week
Okay.
with the edutainment games.
Oh yes, edutainment. The
So-
educational games.
Yeah, the ones that were actually fun in
Okay.
in the late 90s and such.
Yeah.
There are a few websites where you can safely download them, and because they are technically considered abandonware.
Yeah, they don't support them anymore, so
Yeah. They're essentially
Nobody supports them anywhere.
they're video game persona non grata.
Yep.
Therefore, they don't really fall under. I guess they don't really fall under copyright law.
I mean,
or
technically
something?
they would, but they probably let the copyrights fall off. So
Copyrights have probably fallen off.
So
so
nobody.
Not quite public domain, but not quite copyrighted.
they're again persona non grata. They're just basically whatever, do what you want.
Yeah, it's a very strange gray area,
Yep.
but I definitely believe that these are games worth preserving.
Well, that's why somebody has preserved them,
Yeah.
presumably.
There's a guy I follow actually, Cursed Farms, Ross Scott. He talks a lot about abandonware and how he views it as kind of an ethical piracy because it needs to be preserved.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think anybody's complaining.
No,
least of
I
all the
mean-
companies that made them originally.
Most of these companies are gone.
Yeah.
hence why nobody cares.
Yeah, they were either eaten up and their IPs just kind of scattered to the wind, or
Yeah.
they're eaten up and nothing's being done with them.
Strangely enough, I still haven't found a safe version of the one with the robots.
Really?
I have found versions, but
They're
I
not safe.
but I don't necessarily trust the sites that I've found them on.
That is fair.
Most abandonware sites are pretty,
Yeah, they're most abandonware sites are legit.
I mean, like, who's gonna put it on this game that almost nobody's gonna download? Like nobody. If you bug that, then you really have no time, like all the time in the world on your hands.
It's funny because the guy I follow, he finds that some of their websites are actually still active.
Really?
Yeah. Now, the thing about abandonware is that a lot of people realize abandonware is a thing and then pick up the licenses for HD remasters.
Oh, really?
Like, what games has that happened for?
Strife. It's kind of it was a game run in the Doom engine that was actually an RPG.
Okay.
That's crazy. Now, think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It worked actually really well. There was a currency system and everything.
Huh.
And a dialogue system, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
So
That's nuts.
you're saying that this got scooped up and is now not abandonware?
Yeah, it's reinstated.
By who?
I don't know the company, but they picked it up. It's on Steam.
Huh.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I was actually really happy for it because, as a concept, a game that runs in the Doom engine and is an RPG, that's crazy to me. Like,
That is.
first person sci-fi gunner kind of thing.
Yeah.
You basically play like a lone gunslinger. It really cool stuff. But also a lot of these edutainment games. Putt Putt,
Yep.
Putt Putt.
I wouldn't classify Putt Putt as edutainment necessarily, or in most things by HE.
Yeah.
Humongous entertainment.
It's like
But like
Pajama Sam.
but
Who
if
remembers Pajama Sam?
that was
Freddy the Fish. Was it Freddy
Yeah.
the Fish? Yeah.
Spy Fox.
Freddy Fish, Spy Fox, Pajama Sam, big thinkers I would classify as edutainment, but like I'm talking like Jumpstart.
Yeah, the Jumpstart games. Is that company still around or no?
Probably not.
No.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Nah, but you can find the HE games on Steam. They're like stupid cheap.
I'm sure they're like a couple bucks.
Yeah, I think Putt Putt. The most expensive one is like $1.99.
Yeah, I actually was super psyched to get Spy Fox again, and I did a Let's Play on it on a channel that does not. I didn't really go much anywhere with it, but it was fun. I loved playing it again. The Spy Fox games were actually one of the first games I played that had multiple endings, depending on your reflexes near the end.
Right.
Scutty, I think you're going to get your next chance at a Let's Play channel because, like we've talked in the past.
Talked a while, but I think we need to start uploading some Let's Plays to the Talking Nerdy YouTube channel.
We need to start doing.
I'm definitely, probably this weekend at some point, going to stream at least one episode, if not record an episode, of Pokemon Platinum. Because I love Pokemon Platinum. I haven't played it in 3, 4, 5 years now. I don't remember when the last time I played it was. But 4th generation is my absolute favorite. I'm kind of on the 4th generation rehype again because of the newest set of Pokemon, which I nerded out about for how long last week, Scutty?
It was like a good quarter of the chunk of the show.
No, it wasn't a quarter. It wasn't quite that much. It was like 20 minutes. I nerded out about my deck that I built.
Yeah, you did.
My Leafeon Executor deck.
Yeah, that definitely took it.
Actually, I call it Execusaur because it's a Alolan Executor Venusaur.
Speaking of Pokemon.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
So yeah, I was thinking I would like to play 4th generation again. And Pearl and Diamond and Pearl are great games, but Platinum is something that you two have never played.
No.
So
No.
I figured to give you two an opportunity to see it and me to go ahead and play it again. I've already figured it out. I know I'm set to at least record or stream it.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
I am too.
Gives me something to do, like just watch somebody play Pokemon. That's kind of where I'm at right now mentally. I need a good chill vibe time.
Well, when I was playing Red over the winter, you and Scutty were both watching it and enjoying that. So
it was a good time.
I think so too. Although you made me say some very, very bad words. Yes, you did.
I have that effect.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Weren't we also? I thought we were going to do the NSFW episode over the weekend.
Oh, I think we are still going to try to plan to do that, provided Bearman's schedule works out.
Provided my schedule works out, and that's a whole other story.
That is a whole mess. But yeah, no, we've got some big plans, a lot of which we hope to get done over this weekend.
Right.
Which,
Yeah.
the weekend of March 2nd.
Which should be possible because we are a very versatile. We are a versatile network. We
are at least 3 people. We are at least 3 people. I mean, the 3 people you see in the stream art, you know, the lizard, the guy, and the bear, that's us.
That's us.
That is us. Yep. I mean, I'm the guy.
And I'm looking forward to...
I'm the lizard.
Yes, Bearman is the lizard.
Yes. Not the bear with the cup of coffee. No. The lizard.
It's hot chocolate.
Okay. With the hot... See?
Yeah, caffeine.
It's as sweet as me.
Oh, yeah.
You are adorable.
Thank you. You say with disgust on your face.
Oh, yeah,
You don't know what's on my face right
moving
now.
back to the Pokemon.
Ooh.
So, Bearman and I went to shop at the Chipotle. We got ourselves...
The Chipotle.
We did. We went to the Chipotle.
Yeah.
We got ourselves some burrito goodness.
Yo, can I just say,
Yeah.
having whatever rice they use, it's delicious.
They add cilantro to it.
I'll do it.
So, you know, it's hilarious.
What?
Cilantro is a uniquely American word.
Yeah? How's that?
Coriander. It's called coriander. Now, in the U.S., coriander refers to the dried and ground up root of the cilantro plant. But cilantro
this is easily the nerdiest thing you've ever said.
Cilantro is uniquely American. We call the leaf, the fresh herb, cilantro. We call the root coriander, but it's the coriander plant. By the way, zucchinis in England are called courgettes.
What?
Zucchini is also an American word. Yeah,
What?
I'm
All right.
blowing your minds right now. Yeah.
You're confusing my mind right now.
Yeah.
All right.
You remember that whole thing about we always go back to food? Yeah, we went back to food.
Yeah, we went back to
Point
food.
aside, it's the cilantro and a few spices they throw in the rice. So yes.
Okay.
But we went to Chipotle. Then we went to Bull Moose because we don't go to Chipotle without going to Bull Moose. No. It's kind of
It's become a thing.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
like
they're
our-
right near each other.
That's our weekly excursion.
That kind of is our weekly excursion. And so I decided, you know, I'm going to buy some Pokemon Evolutions packs. I love the set. I'm trying to complete the set.
Cue Mrs. Frost angrily glaring.
Hey, I spent my own money on it that I earned myself, so it's cool. This time.
This time.
So they didn't have any loose packs, or they did, but they were kind of sketchy looking.
Yeah.
So I bought an Elite Trainer box, which is a box that comes with 8 packs in it, some dice, some tokens that you use for the gameplay, as well as the box itself is a card storage box, and some sleeves. And I'm like, all right, I mean, no matter what, I'm going to get some cool stuff because it's Evolutions. It usually treats me okay, and at least I'm going to get like 1 EX. Open up my first pack. I get a Pidgeot EX. I'm like, oh, well, there's my hit. I already have this one, but that's okay. No big deal. Bearman opens one of my packs. He's like, I got a reverse. I got a shiny Vulpix. I'm like, oh yeah, reverse hollows. They come in every pack. They're pretty cool. So I'm thinking nothing of it. Open up my second pack. There's another EX in it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you got to be kidding me. What? Another EX? That's crazy. I don't get this. It was a Mega Slowbro EX.
Yeah.
So I put it in another sleeve. Thankfully, I bought the thing with the sleeves.
Right.
I opened up another pack. It's got a Hollow Mew in it, which is one of the 8 cards I needed to complete the set, mind you. So I'm already doing well. I'm like, oh man, I'm over the moon. Next pack, Venusaur EX. And by this point, I'm like, there's no way. This is beyond what's supposed to come out of an Elite Trainer box. You usually get 1 Hollow or 1 EX. You don't get this. So I open up my other 3-ish packs I've got left. Open one up. It was like Eradicate. No big deal. Open up the next one. Full Art Mewtwo EX.
Jesus.
And I'm just sitting there going, are you kidding me?
Okay, listen to me very carefully.
Yeah?
Next time you do this, we have to do an fictional
An fictional.
And a fictional?
an a fictional opening thing.
We would, but then the luck would go away. That's just how it works.
Well, I mean, if it
Worth a shot.
Well, I mean,
It might be.
if it doesn't turn out to be good polls, then it
Yeah.
doesn't get posted.
So, no, we post everything. We're not going to lie to the folks. But let me tell you something. Whenever I go shopping with Bearman and Scutty, and I buy Pokemon cards, no matter what, I've pulled something good.
Yeah.
No matter what. And I'm not sure why this is, but the universe seems to smile on you guys. So I'm going to keep buying stuff with you guys. To be fair, though, my wife, whenever she buys me stuff, I also get good stuff. And it's fantastic.
So what you're saying is
I shouldn't buy things on my own.
yeah, never buy things by yourself.
It turns out poorly.
This is fair.
Also with a couple other people. Turns out poorly. And I was all bummed out because they didn't have any of the new set Ultra Prism. I was like, oh, there's nothing left. Like, the set is hard to get. I mean, I've gone over this before, but there was an error translation, so they have to fix that. They did a small print run because the last set, Crimson Invasion, flopped hard. Just full-on tanked. It was a terrible set. The art was amazing on it. Phenomenal. But the cards weren't that
this
good.
evening.
What?
That's for this
I know
evening
it's
by
for.
my count.
Ultra Prism just has amazing cards, phenomenal cards, and phenomenal art. And it's from my favorite generation. That makes it extra phenomenal. So I don't do this often, but I'm trying to collect the whole set of it. This is extremely difficult because there are at least 12 or 13 secret rares. I'll be collecting for a while. Or, eventually just have the spare change lying around to buy the cards I need.
I mean, honestly, the rate your luck's going when you're with me and Scutty,
Yep.
probably, I don't know, buy a couple packs,
No.
buy a couple boxes.
Secret rares are like
Buy a
one
store.
every 3 boxes.
Yeah, buy a store.
Yeah, buy the whole
I should just
store.
buy a store. Right. I actually have...
Not just the cards, but the entirety of the store.
I have seriously considered before purchasing a hobby shop.
Yeah.
I have. I really have. I was offered
Just so you could
years
get
ago.
the cards.
No. This is for a different reason. 4 or 5 years ago, the local hobby shop where I was hanging out, and I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time, like almost every day of the week I was there. I'm friends with the owner. We chat a lot. I mean, I still talk to him. We hang out whenever he's in town. He's since moved out to Michigan.
Sadness.
I know I don't get to see him too often. It's too bad. But we talk a lot, and he offered me, like, hey, I'm selling the business probably within the next year or so. Would you like an opportunity to buy it? And I'm like, I thought about it. I gave it some serious thought.
Did you have that kind of money at the time?
I could have taken out a loan. I could have made it work. But I wasn't done with college yet.
That's fair.
And so
Education comes first.
Yeah, so I put it off. I was like, you know what? When I'm done with my education, I will consider it. Yeah. And so it ended up...
Now we're in a basement.
Now we're in a basement.
We're in a
basement talking about pretty much anything that comes to mind.
Well, I don't regret this at all. I mean, it's sad because the person that ended up buying it ran it into the ground.
Yeah.
Drove everybody away. The guy was
That's legitimately infuriating, though.
I know.
No, the guy has a reputation around the state where I live, in the area. Let's leave it at that.
All right, fair enough.
People who are listening from my home will know who I'm talking about and are probably making a disgusted look on their face. Disgusted face.
I could see a slightly like
Yeah,
on you
it's kind
right
of automatic.
I can sort of like... I can't see your face right now because this desk blocks my view of you, but I can like...
Yeah,
I'm imagining an anime version of you, and you've got all of those anger marks everywhere on your head.
It's more of the disgust look. But yeah. Long story short, I've still, to this day, considered opening up a shop at some point when I am financially stable. Hobby shops are not a money-making opportunity. They keep you going.
Like
They are if your hobby shop is breaking even, you're doing it right. You're not going to get rich running a hobby shop.
Why was he selling it?
Because he had 4 partners. There was 4 of them to begin with the shop. 3 of them stopped doing anything to help. So he was the only one running it and operating it, and he got burnt out.
Yeah, that's completely fair.
Yeah. It was not cool. But, I mean, he's a lot happier with his wife, and they have a good life out in Michigan. So I cannot fault him at all, and I hold no resentment.
Do you think it's still feasible to do hobby shops?
Absolutely. I mean, local communities are pretty strong where I am. You know, there's a lot you wouldn't expect, but there's a lot of shops.
A lot of people, you know, it's funny because like a lot of people are like, well, retail's dying. Yes and no.
Yes and no, exactly.
A lot of smaller communities keep it alive.
It's true. And I mean,
the town that we're based out of has a very good reputation of trying to keep its local businesses alive.
I mean, New England in general has this sort of local business thing. Also, if there are no local shops, there's nobody to play with.
Yeah.
So, in a way, for all us card gamers, board gamers, tabletop gamers, we need those local shops to exist. So, whenever I'm trying to buy singles for Pokemon, I will always go to my local shop first. Hands down, will always go for it. Even if I pay a little bit more, it's worth it to me.
I think that in the future we'll find more niche shops, kind of that stuff like Bull Moose, kind of.
So Bull Moose is technically a chain, but I don't mind supporting them because they are, for me, a local business. They are owned by the same people, I believe, and they are local to Maine and New Hampshire, and they're great. I love them. So I don't mind supporting them, but I also want to support my other local shops because, like, I don't want them to go away because I like going there and hanging out with the people there and playing games there. You know, it's hard enough to get people all together in somebody's house to play games.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to say, hey, let's meet up at this shop where there's parking and food nearby and, you know. So I guess the point of the story is local shops are amazing. If you are somewhere and you know where a local shop is, go find it. Go try to get to know the people there. You know, not all shops fit all people.
No.
You know, that's why where I live, there are a few different shops and people go to the one that best suits their personality. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And, you know, shops do close and it's really hard to find a shop where you fit back in. But, you know, all those people that were in the community of the shop that closed are going to disperse too. So you're always going to find somebody.
Yeah.
Scutty and I, we're going to have a problem trying to find a place like a local shop to continuously go to aside from Bull Moose.
Yeah, why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
I mean, the one shop near me is fairly, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of...
Are they elitist?
It's more, but it's more video game oriented. There aren't really a lot of cards going on.
No. It's, without giving away my location, it's more like, they exclusively do tabletop stuff.
Like Warhammer or War Machine?
Yeah, but it's like they almost exclusively do, like, games. Like, they don't sell a ton of merchandise, which isn't a bad thing,
So
but you kind of
how do they stay open?
Yeah, that's the good question, because they always... Like, it's a big place. They don't sell any comics. They don't sell any of the stuff that I typically go for.
Sure.
I mean, I tried, you know, I like playing D&D and stuff, but, like, I don't want to get into Warhammer because as much as I like the lore of Warhammer, I don't have that kind of money, man.
No, you shouldn't. Don't. The game is going downhill fast. The miniatures are amazing. Don't get me wrong. The game has never been... Like, the game used to be amazing. Back in Warhammer 40,000... 4th edition, that was my favorite. I love 4th edition. It was great, phenomenal. Played it all the time with a really good friend of mine. It's gone downhill. They got rid of my game that I loved the most, Warhammer Fantasy. So I've kind of cut ties with Games Workshop in general in that regard.
Right. I still play their strategy games on Steam.
Oh no, their games are fine, but like.
Because they only cost you money the first time.
The first time, yeah, not the continuous money to get new units and paints and drushes and the whole 9 yards.
And all the hours picking which faction you are and which they all worship the same god, right?
No.
Technically, the orcs created their god.
Well, I mean not the orcs, but I mean the human soldiers.
The Imperial Guard and the Space Marines, they do and they don't. So the Imperial Guard believe that the Emperor is a god.
Okay.
He himself would have contested this.
He himself would be very, very upset. He worked very hard to get rid of religion. Very hard. Like,
That's
took over the earth hard.
that's actually hilarious.
Right.
And it
Well,
wasn't his first go of it either.
No.
When he was able to speak, he had claimed that he was, at one point, Abraham Lincoln, Alexander the Great, basically a lot of historical
He
figures.
was, probably.
He's immortal, by the way, we should say.
Okay.
Especially now.
That makes a little bit more sense
It's-
when he
So,
claims
well,
he was more than one
here's-
people.
Well, he's been reborn a bunch, kind of. So here's the thing. The Space Marines, most of them anyway, the original chapters, know he's not a god, but kind of worship him, but not really, like, as the best warrior, the, numero uno, the savior of mankind. Also, their father. Literally. Kind of.
Okay.
It was by his science that they became Space Marines.
Schmiance.
So, in that regard, yes, they are on the same side, but not always on the same side. If a certain chapter of Space Marines is doing something, and the Imperial Guard get in their way, guess who's getting swept aside? Depending on the strength of the Force.
Right.
But yes.
The Warhammer universe is in a constant state of
Flux. Yeah, no, the thing is, lore Space Marines are godly. They don't go down easily. Game mechanic Space Marines, they're tough, but they're not the best. It's kind of unfortunate.
I don't know, man. You play that one third-person action game?
Oh, Space Marine?
Yeah.
That's lore Space Marine. I meant like the actual figure, the
Yeah.
tabletop game. No. Space Marine, the game that was just called Space Marine, I loved that game. It was too short.
It's
my
on Steam.
biggest. No, I know. I have it.
Yeah,
I own it. I bought it. I pre-ordered it. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. I loved that game. It was too short. It was just straight up too short. And the multiplayer was actually really fun on it, but like, I'm not really good at that kind of game. I loved the campaign, but there was supposed to be a sequel and it never got made.
There was supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah, it was, and then THQ went under. Although they recently were reacquired by somebody, so there's a chance for old THQ properties to be remade.
THQ has actually been resurrected.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
No, I mean like fully. They just call it THQ Nordic now.
Yes, THQ Nordic because they combined.
Oh, okay. I thought you
yeah,
were.
and they recently were given leeway to get their IPs back.
Yeah, they've resurrected Darksiders.
Yeah. I think they're going to resurrect. Hopefully, they resurrect Space Marine.
They lost Saints Row though. That was a big blow.
Yeah.
But Saints Row also had
It kind of came to its end anyway.
Saints Row had a very troubled history, and it's
It
kind
has.
of sad. The series peaked at 2 in terms of what it was, like what it. I guess it peaked in terms of funniness as well as
Good content.
good content. Yeah, 3 was definitely the most entertaining, but God, 4
4 wasn't good.
4 was really
The way
bad.
you sound so sad.
He sounds defeated by it.
4 was a broken mess. That was just
I'm sorry, Bear Man.
jokes. It was all jokes.
Is that the one with the particular sword?
That's also 3.
Okay.
But even that was like
The
better
particular sword.
Yes, the particular sword. It was a rubberized sword.
it was a rubberized sword.
Doesn't
Yep.
sound useful.
Yeah, probably not.
It's pretty hard to use.
Yep. Anyway, let's see. We got about 10, 15 minutes left.
All right.
What can we talk about in 10, 15 minutes?
Scott
Okay.
Steiner's arm veins.
No,
We're not going to do that. Let's talk about our plans for the Minecraft server. Why don't we?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm going to build an ice palace. Bearman's going to build a fire palace because we left him 2 double chests full of netherrack.
Yeah.
Well, rather, I left him the second double chest all on my own.
I noticed that. And I am going to be constructing various wool statues across the world of the gods from Okami.
The first one was really good. I like it.
I am going to admit right away that the head was starting to frustrate me to no end, so I had to go into creative and cheat a little bit just to make it work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, it wasn't like I was using materials that I cheated to get materials or anything. I just wanted to be able to shape it better and look at it more consistently.
You just wanted the
understand that.
ability to fly
Yeah.
because that makes building easier.
Yes.
And then I used it to get one little piece of lime green wool when we don't have access to green dye yet, because I just needed to make little Isun standing on top of Ami's nose.
Okay.
Just to add a little touch, because you can't have Amaterasu without Isun. Well, I mean
you can.
Well, you can, but it's not the same.
No.
It's really not.
I thought it was a slime. You could have used a slime block in the interim.
Well, yeah, but I was
That's
already
what I thought it was.
I was already in creative mode at the time. So,
When I went in on the server,
Yeah.
I got really sad
Oh, yeah. Why?
because I went over and I found the chest, right?
Yeah, the one with your name on it.
Yeah, it says to Bearman,
Yeah.
Heart, Scutty, and Frost.
Yep.
However, a wolf was blocking the to Bearman, so it was just a sign on a chest that said Heart, Scutty, and
no.
Frost.
Oh,
And
what a
there-
bad doggo.
There was a moment where I was just like, oh,
No.
is this the surprise that you promised me?
no.
It's no such thing, I swear.
No, no.
Like-
That's not what it
It
looks
was just
like.
a bad dog. If
then-
there was a cat, though, the cat would be on top of the chest, and then you wouldn't be able to open it.
Yeah, that has happened.
I love that.
It-
That's such a good feature, though.
It was a dark moment, but then I realized, oh,
There's a second sign.
yeah, there's a second sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And also, dog is just blocking some words.
Yeah.
Dogs, yeah. The server's been a little glitchy though. Didn't you lose a dog somewhere?
Yeah, like I had 3 dogs. I put 2 of them in front of the sheep because sheep dogs, and 1 to guard Bearman's present.
Yep.
Thank you.
And then I come back after logging out for a bit. You're already on, and for a hot second I'm freaking out, thinking that you made the dog disappear somehow.
I don't know how to do that besides like with a sword, but like I'm not going to kill a doggo.
In which case I would have been incredibly cross with you.
Well, I wouldn't kill anything.
Cross even.
Cross, yes.
Yes, I specifically with that type of words.
Oh yes, I'm quite cross.
Wow.
Yes, just like that.
But yeah, I was still very upset because I had 3 dogs and then one just straight up disappeared
So-
into the ether.
I was thinking about this actually, and I think I might know what happened.
Yeah,
Dogs will attack mobs.
this is true. But
So
But then that would and I had been attacked by mobs at some point. But this would also imply that the dog was busy fighting mobs until it got killed.
Which is
well,
kind of a cool
if
way
I'm
to
there
go.
loading the area, that is potentially possible. So
Yeah, but don't they only attack don't they only attack mobs if they see their owner getting attacked?
I think dogs instinctively go after skeletons.
That makes sense
Yeah.
considering that they're made of bones.
I
Yes.
think that's part of the reasoning.
Although, like, I was fighting off some skeletons so I could get bones to re-dye some of the sheep because there's just so many sheep right now.
Hey, can we talk about how an Enderman screamed at me?
Yeah,
They-
don't look at them. If
Well-
you don't look at an Enderman, they're not going to scream at you.
It opened its mouth.
Yes.
That was unsettling.
Pretty creepy.
Yes.
And-
Don't look at them.
But it was also kind of hilarious because it kept teleporting and something is up with my computer. It's a brand new computer, runs really well, but for some reason the game is glitching out around me. And
No, that's just how they teleport.
no, because they would teleport, but it wouldn't teleport. I would see it coming at me, and I would just punch it. So it would just keep running into me as I punch it.
That's how they teleport.
Oh,
That is legit. They are erratic and make no sense. The only way to fully get them to do what you want is you can build a certain platform that they can't get under, so they'll keep running at you, and you can attack them as you will.
okay.
But no, they teleport erratically in the overworld.
Well, it was basically the equivalent of a really, really terrifying monster running into my fist constantly.
Over and over
yes,
again.
that is exactly how. When they get hurt, they teleport, and then they run right at you again because they will mess up your day. You're going to have a bad day if you look at an Enderman wrong.
And that Enderman killed you 3 times.
It honestly, I think the only reason it killed me was because a skeleton was there too, shooting arrows occasionally. If not, I'm pretty sure
that also explains it, because you cannot hit an Enderman with a ranged weapon.
Yeah,
They
no, I didn't. I was
auto-teleport.
punching it.
So the skeleton is shooting at it. It's shooting at you, but it's getting in the way.
Yeah.
If that arrow was going to hit it, it'd teleport again erratically. So you just had a perfect storm of badness.
Yeah.
So your computer is fine.
Yeah, no, your computer's
Well,
fine.
no, because I sometimes wake up and the world is still loading in. Like,
Yeah.
it, like, I have seen, there's a massive waterfall that we haven't found.
Oh.
A massive underwater waterfall.
Yeah, no, that's pretty common. So, yeah, no, that's called client-server disconnect.
And we're going to have to more thoroughly explore this mine that's like that's weirdly enough. I'm surprised you haven't dug into it, Frost.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I haven't been digging
literally
much.
right under us.
I've been researching how to make snowmen produce snow again.
It's incredibly tough.
And I am 100% convinced that there are at least 2 zombie spawners in there.
That would be pretty awesome.
And because they just keep popping up one after the other over and over again.
Yeah, I had to kill a kid zombie. That wasn't fun. That I didn't know kid zombies were in the game.
Well, they are. There's going to be a
they're
lot
called
of
baby zombies.
That doesn't make me feel better.
So there used to be programming in the game. No, I kid you not, where they would run up to you, and if you didn't hit them, like they'd do damage, and then they'd stop, and they wouldn't damage you because it was giving you a hug.
Oh,
It's not the case anymore.
okay.
For once in my life,
Yeah.
for once in the 21 years of my life, I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a baby zombie villager? They're adorably awful. And they're like villagers, but they're tiny, but they've got the zombiness going on.
Bearman, are you okay?
Bearman is kind of.
I think he's.
I broke him?
Are you crying right now?
I'm not crying. I'm just.
How did I break him?
I'm just
Who left this
contemplating
bowl of onions here?
I'm just contemplating my life choices
What do you want?
and
to be,
then crying.
do you want to be a baby zombie villager?
No, I don't want any undead children.
You're speaking of undead children.
Yeah.
Frost, you're gonna have to show me the skin.
I don't like where this is going.
Skin? Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do
I
that.
have to show. Speaking of undead children,
me the skin.
Show me the skin.
Show me the
Yeah,
skin.
no, that's not me. Speaking of zombies, really quick in the last couple minutes.
No, that's your new catchphrase. That's not me.
That's
Frost 2018.
Phenomenal. Frost 2017. That's not me. Frost 2018.
That's not me.
That ain't me.
Scutty 2018. Show me the skin.
Show me the skin.
What's Bearman 2018?
I'm contemplating
God.
my life choices, then crying.
Yes. No, what happened to Caramoose though? That was a thing.
Oh
the
yeah,
Caramoose.
I still have that rough sketch
You know,
in a
it looked
notebook.
mostly like just a moose.
I mean, it was a moose, but it had caribou antlers.
I thought it was a caribou with moose antlers.
Or was it never there at all?
Both. Anyway,
Or
speaking of
was it
zombies.
antlers with or was it just antlers with a moose on top of the antlers?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
last 2-minute conversation. I've been playing a zombie game recently called All of Them Are Children.
What?
I'm kidding. It's called They Are.
The fact that I legit bought it was like, is it?
You saw me playing it too. It's called They Are Billions.
Right. They are billions.
It's like Age of Empires meets a tower defense meets zombie invasion, and it's amazing. I love it so much. A streamer I watch consistently, Rendog. He's also a Minecrafter and on the Hermitcraft server as well. He's been playing it, and it's super fun. Because you can pause the game to build up your strategy better. So like it's not meant to be a complete RTS, nor is it meant to be a straight tower defense. It is a combination. So there are hordes that come in at set periods depending on the amount of days you're playing.
right.
And the amount that comes after you is determined basically by how much population you set.